Hey, beautiful soul. You're listening to the Rising into Mindful Motherhood podcast, your weekly dose of fertility wisdom. I'm your host, Dr. Katie Wood. I'm a barefoot mama bear, pharmacist, and integrative fertility coach. This is your go-to podcast for all things to naturally nourish your fertility, embody womb healing, and reclaim your feminine power to accelerate your path to pregnancy. My expert guests and I will be having intentional conversations to discuss the many facets of a thriving, fertile foundation, natural wellness, and how we grow and transform as women on our journey to motherhood. So let's dive in, shall we? Hello and welcome to Rising into Mindful Motherhood. I am super excited to have you here tuning in to this episode, and I am going to be touching on a topic that is so pervasive in the fertility space, and that is feeling triggered when we see a pregnancy announcement or a picture of a newborn baby or family photos, whatever it may be for you that brings up really, really strong emotions in the body. So recently, I had one of my clients in my group fertility program, Embodied Fertility Mastery, share in the group that someone had just shared a picture of their new family, their expanding family, and she felt really triggered within her body, really wondering, when am I going to be able to have my picture? Will I ever be able to have my family photo that I desire? And then after we have those initial thoughts, what can happen is then shame can creep in, and we can actually make ourselves wrong for feeling the initial emotion that we felt when we saw that announcement, when we saw that family photo, because we feel bad. Like, why would we ever hold these quote unquote negative emotions around someone else's happiness? So I experienced this as well on my journey. So when I tell you I understand wholeheartedly, I mean that. My husband and I had been trying for 7, 8 months, and it was really a struggle, really taking a toll on my energy, my perspective, my outlook, self-talk to myself, really feeling that I didn't deserve to be a mom. My body wasn't equipped to be a mom. I wouldn't be a good mom anyways, just all of these limiting negative thoughts. And then my friend got pregnant, like on the first try, maybe the second, something like that. And it stings. Your stomach almost drops to the floor when you hear that news. Like, it almost takes the breath out of you. Why is she pregnant? What is wrong with me? There must be something wrong with me. Why is my body broken? Why can my body not do this one thing that our feminine bodies were created to do, right? It can send us down this negative spiral and really disconnect us from our bodies even further, right? I was already feeling very disconnected from my body, from my menstrual cycle, all the things. And then that happened. And then I start shaming myself for feeling that way. Why do I feel this way? Because she's my friend. I should be happy for her. Why do I want to put my head in the sand and cry? Why am I feeling feelings of jealousy and resentment? Why was it so easy for her? Why does it have to be so hard for me? All of these things. And then we can blame our body and just, right, creating further separation from our thoughts, ourselves, and our body. And where we should be collaborating and celebrating and honoring and acknowledging the beauty of our body, we tend to actually make it our greatest enemy, our greatest opponent, when our bodies are necessary to create and grow and birth life. So as you can probably maybe tell, okay, you want to have a baby. That requires your body to conceive, to grow, to birth, all of these things. But then on the other hand, we're shaming our body. We're talking down to our body. We hate our bodies. Some of us hate our bodies so much. And as you can see, these are very conflicting energies, very conflicting. So what I shared with this client is, because she basically asked me into the group, am I wrong for feeling these feelings? No. Number one, you are never wrong. Those emotions and those feelings and the sensation in your body, whatever it feels like for you, a lump in your throat, a pit in your stomach, those are coming up. For you to witness them, hold space, and release. A lot of these triggers are actually being triggered from past wounding that are underneath the surface from our childhood. Sometimes they're not even ours. They're from our parents, our ancestors. And energetically, our body is holding these wounds, these traumas. And so that picture of someone's pregnancy announcement or family photo is triggering that wound. And we can look at it as a bad thing, a negative thing, a shameful thing, or we can applaud it. We can welcome it, which I know sounds so hard, maybe even impossible in the moment. And that's okay. If that's impossible in the moment, you can always revisit it. But our life will mirror to us the things that we are ready to heal and release. So that trigger is there for you so you can get curious and look within so you can heal that underlying wound. So some examples could be, we have a self-worth wound underneath because we didn't feel good enough to be loved, liked, to get attention, acknowledgement, whatever it may be when we were younger. Maybe it was with our parents, with a sibling, with friends, kids at school, your teacher. Something happened in our life. Our subconscious mind created a story about it. And then we are carrying these stories, these limiting beliefs, these survival patterns that basically we began as children and we brought into our adulthood. So these wounds, they are being illuminated for you for a reason. And so going back to welcoming it, okay, I'm feeling triggered by this. And just sitting with it could be as simple as you just sitting with yourself. It doesn't have to be formal on a meditation pillow. It could be in a chair, in your bed, on the floor, on the toilet, wherever you're feeling called. And you just breathe and ground into your body. And then you can begin to dialogue and communicate with your body. Body, why am I feeling so triggered in this moment? And then you just listen and you trust whatever comes up. You just trust that that is what your body wants to speak to you and that that's what you need to hear. And you can ask your body, what do you need from me today? And you just listen and you trust. And if you're able to welcome it in the moment when the trigger is actively happening. So this is what I had recommended to my client is take it to the body. Our body knows, right? I'm sure we've all heard of the book, The Body Keeps the Score. Take it to the body. Your body will speak to you if you are creating space to listen and to witness. So that's exactly what I told her. No, these emotions are not wrong. You're not selfish. These are things that your ego and your subconscious have created for you, stories. Doesn't have to be your truth. We can sit with this emotion. Let's just say she felt a lump in her throat. Breathing into that emotion, letting your body know it is safe to feel these emotions, because a lot of us have grown up feeling that it's not safe to be with negative emotions, to be with ourselves, to be in our body, to trust our body. But if you think about it, so many of us get triggered on this pregnancy journey. I feel like it is one of the first times in my life where I had felt like a failure and like I was failing. Because it was the first time where I couldn't push and overachieve to get the desired result. And that can carry so many heavy negative frequencies and vibrations in our body, right? We feel badly about ourselves, about our body, just so much. Yeah, I just wanted to speak to this. You are not wrong. You are not a bad person. You are not selfish for feeling upset or triggered by your friend, your family member, your coworker, a stranger on the internet because they got pregnant, they had their baby, they have their family, they're growing their family, whatever it may be. You are none of those things. You are whole and beautiful and wise and intuitive. You hold so much power within yourself, but we have become so disconnected from it. And we are wounded. We are carrying wounds from our childhood. Our parents did the best they could, or if we weren't raised by our parents, the situation, people were doing the best that they could in the moment with what they had. So there's that. There's our wounding projected onto us from our parents, our ancestors, epigenetics, all of these things can play a role. So we're just going to hold that. No, it's not like there's nothing wrong with us. And show ourselves love and compassion and curiosity and welcome in these triggers. as uncomfortable as they can be in the moment. Once you know how to do this, once you do become a mom, you are going to experience a lot of triggers from our children. Our children are our greatest teachers, and they will show you where you need to heal, what you need to shift. Believe me, the things that I have learned about myself after becoming a mom, like really having to work on my patience and needing things to be just so, perfectionism, all of these things are things that my daughter has illuminated to me. Hey, you don't have to be so uptight. Things don't have to be perfect all the time. They don't have to go smoothly all the time. We don't have to be in a rush all the time, slowing down. This is just an example. And yeah, I just wanted to share this. This came up in my mind earlier. An example of trusting what is coming up in your body. This was a couple years ago. My husband and I were in a unique financial situation, and I just remember meditating and asking my body, what should I do right now for this situation? The first thing that popped up in my mind was taxes. It was that time of year. Do your taxes. I jumped, I listened. I was like, wow, okay. This is interesting. I don't know why I would think that, but I took it. I listened. I jumped right into doing taxes. I don't know anyone that likes to do their taxes. And we ended up getting a 5-figure refund. I'm telling you, I couldn't believe it. My jaw dropped to the ground. You need to learn how to trust, how to tune in, how to listen, how to interpret what your body is speaking to you. And that is going to make your fertility journey feel so good. It's not going to feel like you're at war with yourself anymore. It's going to feel so easeful, fun. You're going to be able to have more fun with your partner, right? Have it be a little lighter. I know how heavy and like daunting and tedious it can feel for a relationship. So I'm going to be dropping a link in the show notes for my free 7-day immersion fertile womb embodiment. And it is going to help take you through all the steps so you can truly begin to take things to the body that are coming up for you during your fertility journey. And you're going to be able to resolve them quickly, just like that. And you're going to be able to go from feeling triggered, feeling frustrated, and hopeless to feeling lighter, more joy, more ease, more trust, just know more convicted inner knowing that you know that this is on your heart and that it will be yours. It is yours. You just know that within divine timing, within the right time, your baby will be yours. You'll be having your pregnancy announcement. You'll be having your family photos taken. We have to start here in this space to be able to cultivate that conscious awareness in your body so you can take it to the body. And it doesn't just have to be for things that are triggering. It can also be maybe you have 2 different options being presented to you by your doctor or by someone else who's maybe helping you on your fertility journey. And you can feel into which one is the best path for me to take right now without having to have external opinions basically telling you which one to choose. You get to choose what feels best and right and aligned for you right now. And that is going to collapse time, accelerate your path to conceiving your baby. This is a lifelong tool. It's something that I use in my day-to-day life. I'm not currently trying to conceive. This is just something that as women, intuitive women, we're able to use for so many different things. And of course, as always, if you leave a review for this podcast and you share a screenshot with me on social media, you can get $250 off of some of my high-level fertility programs. So the Embodied Fertility Mastery program, my group program that I had just mentioned, you would be able to get $250 off of that. So let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts on the episodes, and I will see you on the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Rising into Mindful Motherhood podcast. If this episode resonated with you or gave you an aha moment, stop what you're doing right now and write a review. This simple act of kindness helps me get this podcast out to connect with as many women as I possibly can. I also have a special offer. If you send me a screenshot of your review, I will take $250 off one of my premium coaching containers. Let me know what resonated with you the most and why. So connect with me in my free Facebook community or tag me on Instagram. You'll find both listed below. Thanks again from the bottom of my heart for tuning in to this episode, and I'll see you next time.